How close is AI to replacing you as the CEO? I mean, talk about a loaded question, right? Nilay Patel from The Verge actually threw that exact curveball at Alphabet and Google CEO Sundar Pichai. And honestly, Pichai's answer was surprisingly chill. He basically laughed it off, saying the CEO gig actually isn't that complicated. He even joked that figuring out who gets what computing resources is so wrapped up in human emotion and office politics that an AI might actually make better, more rational choices. It's a pretty funny moment, but it definitely hints at this massive structural shift happening right now inside one of the world's most powerful companies. So, welcome to The Explainer. Let's just dive right into this, shall we? Today we're taking a really fascinating journey, and it's all based on this deeply revealing conversation between Nilay Patel and Sundar Pichai. We're going to track Google's current evolution. We're talking mapping it straight from their closed-door corporate boardroom decisions all the way out to the absolute edge of artificial general intelligence. It's a story about completely restructuring an empire, changing exactly how we interact with information, and navigating the societal shockwaves of a truly profound technological revolution. Here's our roadmap for today. First, rebuilding for the AI era. Second, the rise of AI agents. Third, the Google Zero dilemma. Fourth, addressing public AI anxiety. And finally, number 5, approaching the singularity. Let's get right into it. Section 1, rebuilding for the AI era, consolidating power to meet the ChatGPT moment. Okay, so picture this. A few years ago, ChatGPT drops, and it creates this absolute pressure cooker moment across the entire tech industry. For Pichai, it represented a huge shift in the Overton window of AI adoption. Basically, everyday people were suddenly willing to use and adopt these wild new technologies way faster than anyone anticipated. So to meet this moment, Google, which, let's be honest, has historically been known for having 1,000 overlapping products and super decentralized teams, they had to move fast, like incredibly fast. Notice the unified AI engine right at the core of their new structure. Instead of a bunch of scattered, siloed projects, Pichai took 2 world-class but totally separate research teams, Brain and DeepMind, and smashed them together into Google DeepMind. He even joked it was like trying to merge Stanford and MIT into a single university. This single core engine is what now powers everything: search, YouTube, cloud, and platforms like Android and Chrome. By creating this centralized infrastructure team and appointing a single chief AI architect, Pichai drastically cranked up the company's velocity. We're talking about him being able to review and approve major AI products directly in his weekly meetings. Talk about streamlining. Moving on to Section 2, the rise of AI agents, from answering queries to executing tasks. So all of that intense corporate restructuring, it wasn't just about efficiency. It was entirely designed to build a completely new paradigm of technology. We are literally moving from a world where computers just fetch information for us to a world where they actually execute complex tasks on our behalf. Let's see how this builds. We started out with large language models, or LLMs. These are the systems that can understand and generate text. Then we layered on reasoning, right? Giving these models the ability to actually think through problems step by step. And now we are entering the era of agents. An agent doesn't just hand you a recipe. It goes ahead and orders the groceries for you. It has intelligence, it can plan ahead, it can use external tools, and it can even write its own code to solve entirely novel problems. It's a total game changer. To really ground this kind of abstract concept, let's take a look at Google's actual real-world agent ecosystem. On the consumer side, you've got something like Gemini Spark. This can take a prompt like, hey, plan a weekend trip to Montreal for me. And it actually works behind the scenes to find flight times, book things, and build a full itinerary, instead of just spitting out a list of blue links. Then, for the developers out there, there's Anti-Gravity. This is an internal tool where engineers act almost like managers, directing entire teams of AI coding agents. Some devs are literally using it to prompt whole custom operating systems into existence. Crazy, right? And then running in the background, you have tools like the Universal Commerce Protocol, which is aiming to standardize exactly how these AI agents shop and interact with retailers on our behalf. Which brings us to Section 3, the Google Zero dilemma, the battle over the open web's traffic. So an internet where AI agents just do all the work for you, that creates some massive friction. This right here is the absolute core conflict of the AI search era. Think about it. If Google's AI reads the entire web, summarizes it, and executes tasks right there on the search results page, what happens to the websites that actually created all that original information? Nilay Patel coined this the Google Zero dilemma. It's basically the concept that eventually Google traffic going out to external websites is just going to fall to zero. The user gets their answer directly from the AI overview and never clicks away. And for the media ecosystem, which relies entirely on that traffic for ad revenue and subscriptions, that is a straight-up existential threat. To really understand the gravity of this panic, just look at this quote. Roger Lynch, who is the CEO of the massive publishing giant Condé Nast, explicitly gave his teams this mandate. Assume there is no search. You have to have your businesses planned as if search is zero. I mean, wow. Publishers are looking at these new AI overviews, which confidently tell you the best Chromebook to buy without you ever needing to click a tech review site, and they are straight up planning for a total collapse of their traditional distribution model. So, what we have here are two incredibly different views of the web's future. On one side, publishers are anticipating total existential ruin. They're actively fighting back, sometimes even with lawsuits, demanding the ability to opt out of having their content used to train these models. But on the flip side, Pichai and Google, they predict a much more evolved, dynamic ecosystem. Pichai argues that these AI experiences are actually bringing the web back, encouraging people to have deeper, ongoing conversations with the content. He maintains that while the nature of the clicks might change, maybe filtering out those lower quality bounce clicks, the overall pie of information is growing, and users ultimately still really want to connect with actual human sources. It is a massive, high-stakes standoff over the basic economics of the internet. Section 4. Addressing public AI anxiety, navigating the societal fallout of rapid tech. Now, it's definitely not just the publishers who are worried here. If we zoom out from the media industry, we see that despite Google's user metrics going up and up, there is this widespread, very measurable public discomfort with the rapid deployment of artificial intelligence. You've got users who are super annoyed by low-quality, automated AI slop just completely cluttering up their search results and social feeds. Then there are very real bipartisan concerns about the absolutely massive energy consumption of these new AI data centers and what that actually means for our local power grids and utility rates. Throw in the looming fear of job displacement and just a general rising skepticism. Former Google CEO Eric Schmidt was literally booed during a college commencement address recently. So yeah, there is a very clear gap right now between the impressive capabilities of this tech and how the general public actually feels about it. Now, what's interesting is Pichai doesn't just brush this off as some simple PR or marketing problem. Look at what he says here. AI is the most profound technology humanity's going to deal with. I don't think humans are evolved for processing this much change. He openly acknowledges that when everyday people hear a technology might take away jobs or stress out the power grid, their anxiety is completely 100% natural. It's a really candid admission from the very top that the tech industry is driving change through society at a pace that our basic human psychology is frankly just struggling to match. And that brings us to our final section, Section 5, approaching the singularity, looking at the finish line. Let's zoom out one last time, all the way to the cosmic scale of what Google and its competitors are ultimately trying to build. Because let's be real, an AI that can plan your weekend vacation is really just a stepping stone. At the end of a recent Google developer conference, DeepMind CEO Demis Hassabis delivered this absolutely staggering quote. He said, "When we look back at this time, I think we will realize that we were standing in the foothills of the singularity." The singularity, if you're not familiar, that's a hypothetical future point where technological growth becomes totally uncontrollable and irreversible, fundamentally altering human civilization forever. And the trigger for that singularity, that is widely considered to be AGI, or artificial general intelligence. We're not just talking about an algorithm that can write some Python code or summarize a news article. AGI refers to systems that can comprehensively perform a massive range of complex cognitive work at or even above the capability of a human being. Whether that takes a massive leap beyond our current LLM technology, or if it just means scaling up exactly what we have right now, the smartest minds in physics and math are already using these tools to accelerate their research. The actual finish line here is an intelligence that completely rivals our own. So naturally, the crucial question is, when does this actually happen? Well, when Pichai was pressed on whether AGI is 3 years away or 5 years away, his answer was basically that the exact timeline doesn't even matter. Arguing over the strict definition of AGI or predicting the precise year it arrives, it kind of misses the forest for the trees. The reality on the ground is that the rate of progress is so steep right now that we are already dealing with ever more intelligent, highly capable systems today, regardless of what label you want to slap on them. Which really leaves us with this final, super profound question. If AGI, or something practically indistinguishable from it, is only a few years away, is society actually ready for it? We're completely restructuring our digital ecosystem. Our media landscape is literally bracing for zero traffic. Our power grids are being pushed to the test. The technology is accelerating, full speed ahead, completely regardless of our readiness. So what do you think? How exactly do we prepare ourselves for the foothills of the singularity? Think about that as we wrap up today's explainer.